Today we're doing math pages 165, 166, 167, and 168. Philippians 4:13 tells us, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Okay, we're going to go ahead and look at the class practice number 1. It says to subtract after borrowing. And we've done these kinds of problems before, but the minuend was 1 before. Now we're looking at where the number's 2 here, or 6 here. Before we've only done it where it's a 1 there. So here, 2, we're going to borrow from the 2, and we're borrowing 1, so we need to leave 1. We borrowed 1 from the 2, so we leave 1 there. Since this is a 4 right there, we're going to make the 1 that we borrowed 4 over 4. Now we have 4 over 4 minus 3 over 4, and we're left with 1 over 4, and we also need to bring this 1 down. We get 1 and 1/4. B, we need to borrow from the 6, we're left with 5. We've borrowed 1. Since this is a 2 right there, the 1 we borrowed, we're going to turn it into 2 over 2. 2 over 2 minus 1 over 2, we get 1 over 2, we get half. And then the 5 just comes down. We get 5 1/2. C, we need to borrow from the 8, it becomes a 7. We've borrowed 1. Since this is a 3 right there, we're going to make the 1 into a 3 over 3. 3/3 minus 1/3 will be 2/3. And then the 7's just going to come down. We get 7 2/3. D, we're borrowing from the 10. We'll borrow 1, so we're left with 9. The 1 we borrowed, we need to turn it into, since that's a 5, we need to turn it into 5 over 5. 5 over 5 minus 4 over 5 gives us 1 over 5. Bringing the 9 down, and we have 9 1/5. E, let's borrow from our 5. We get 4. Since that is a 7, I'm going to make it 7 over 7. 7 over 7 minus 2 sevenths would give us 5 sevenths. And then the 4 comes down, and we're left with 4 and 5 sevenths. F, we borrow from the 1. This time there's nothing remaining. I'll put a 0 there. Since this is an 8, we're going to make it 8 over 8 is the 1 that we borrowed. 8 over 8 minus 3 over 8 gives us 5 over 8. 5/8. G, we'll borrow from the 4. We're left with 3. The 1 that we borrowed, since this is a 9, we're going to turn that 1 into 9 over 9. 9/9 minus 4/9 leaves us with 5/9. Bring down the 3, and we have 3 and 5/9. H, borrow from the 7, we then have 6. The 1 we borrowed, since it's a 7 there, we're going to make it 7 over 7. And we do this because to add or subtract fractions, you must have common denominators. So our denominator of 7 needs to be the same when we subtract. 7 over 7 minus 6 over 7 leaves us with 1 over 7, and this 6 comes down, so we get 6 and 1/7. I, borrow from the 1, we're left with 0. I'm going to make it 5 over 5 minus 2 over 5, and we're left with 3/5. J, we're borrowing from the 4. We're left with 3. The 1 we borrowed becomes 7 over 7. 7 over 7 minus 6 over 7, we get 1/7. And bring the 3 down, so you have 3 and 1/7. K, we'll borrow from the 1, it's 0, but the 1 we borrowed will become 5 over 5. 5 over 5 minus 4/5 would be 1/5. L, we'll borrow from our 11 and we'll turn it into 10. The 1 that we did borrow will become 9 over 9. 9/9 minus 5/9, we have 4/9. 10 and 4/9. I'm not going to do those division problems for you, but I am going to give you a giant hint to get you started, get you going. 51 doesn't go into 2. 51 doesn't go into 25. 51 does go into 256. I'll let you know it's going to be 5 times. That'll get you started on that one. B, I'll help you a little bit on B as well. 37 doesn't go into 8, but it does go into 89. It goes in 2 times. And then C, it doesn't go into 1, and it doesn't go into 15, but it does go into 150 6 times. 6 times 25 is 150. So you have to finish those up. Let's go ahead and look at the other page I assigned you. 167. 167 is very similar to what we just did. Look at B right now. We have to borrow from the 5. It becomes a 4. The 1 we borrowed, since that's a 2 right there, the 1 we borrowed needs to be 2 over 2. 2 over 2 minus 1 over 2 gives you 1 over 2, gives you half. Now you got to take your whole numbers and subtract 4 minus the 3. We get 1. 1.5. C. Borrow from the 10. It becomes a 9. Since that's a 9 right there, we'll make it 9 over 9. 9/9 minus 2/9 leaves you with 7/9. 9 minus 7 would give you 2, and so your answer is 2 and 7/9. D, we've got to borrow from the 4, it becomes a 3. Since this is a 3 right there, we're going to make our fraction as 3 over 3, the 1 we borrowed. 3 over 3, 3/3 minus 2/3 will give you 1/3. 3 minus 6 you can't do, so we'll borrow from this 1, gives it a 13. 13 minus 6 gives you 7, and we have 7 and 1/3. E, borrow from the 11, you're left with 10. We'll make it 9 over 9. 9/9 minus 5/9, we get 4/9. 10 minus 4 gives us 6. And our answer is 6 and 4/9. F, borrow from the 19, so we have 18 there. 7 over 7 minus 4 over 7 gives us 3/7. 18 minus 5 gives us 13. 13 and 3/7. G, we're going to borrow from the 8, we get 7. 5/5 minus 3/5 gives us 2/5. And 7 minus 7 is nothing, so we'll just stay with 2/5. H, borrow from the 6, we have 5. The 1 that we borrowed is going to be turned into 3 over 3. 3 over 3 minus 2 over 3 gives you 1 over 3. And 5 minus 4 gives you 1, so you get 1 and 1/3. I. We'll borrow from the 15. We're left with 14. The one we borrowed will be 8 over 8. 8 over 8 minus 5 over 8 gives you 3 over 8. And 14 minus 14 is nothing. So we'll just circle our 3 8s. J. We're going to borrow from the 8. We have 7. The one we borrowed is 4 over 4. 4 over 4 minus 3 over 4 gives you 1/4. 7 minus 5 gives you 2. Your answer is 2 1/4. Okay, K. We're going to borrow from our 16. It becomes 15. The one we borrowed will be 5 over 5 minus 4 over 5. That gives us 1/5. 15 minus 9 is 6. So we get 6 1/5. L. We're going to borrow from the 4. Becomes a 3. The one we borrowed is 3 over 3 minus 1 over 3. It gives us 2/3. 3 minus 1 is 2. 2 2/3. Okay, go ahead and do the rest of both pages. Get as much done as you can. You guys are so smart. I believe in you. There's nothing that you guys can't do.